Last podcast on the left, listeners. Are you ready for the truth? No, I don't think you are. You're on your way to your little jobs, with your little families. How precious. Well, your paradigms are about to be destroyed again. Throw your kids away. Quit your job. Seriously, quit your fucking job right now. Because the fix is in. Yeah, there's a club out there. A UFO club. And they know shit that you don't know. And guess what they know? That they don't know what's going on. And that scares them. And so, in turn, they scare us. And it's going to happen to you. Now, my job is to push that fear down onto you. Just know that it's going to destabilize the economy. And everything we knew about the future will change. But that's all the discomforting information I will give you for now. My name is Henry Zabrowski. And I'm sitting here with a man that has dedicated his life to the phenomena. I don't know if it's helped or hurt you personally.
A little bit of both.
I do see you have a wedding ring on, so that's good. Unless you're in transition to divorcee.
No, got a 5-week-old kid.
Wow, incredible. Wow.
Yeah, we're deep.
Very, very deep. I'm here with Darcy Weir, producer, director of, I'm saying probably 24 documentaries at this point, right?
Over 15 feature-length docs, but 2 of them are docu-series, so it's like,
And you still have all your hair.
I use a little bit of minoxidil. I've got
Don't give any secrets away.
Okay.
Don't tell
I'm
them.
good. I don't actually use minoxidil. Maybe in the past I did, but
You're pure testosterone. Like me.
Oh, I take injections every day, just to wake up.
I can see the veins in your face.
Yeah.
Very Rogan style.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, you're looking like a big infused beet.
Rogan and I have the same doctor.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's incredible. Yeah, it's really working.
Yeah.
I've noticed you've lost like 3 inches in height. But
Thanks.
Today he's promoting a new documentary that is, honestly, a subject very close to my heart. Like, I love the concept of remote viewing and the government getting involved in it and all this, because I'm desperate to know the future. Mm-hmm. Just for the sake of, will good pud take off? That's what I want to know. But your new documentary, The Psychic Phenomenon, this really is about, because you've done many documentaries about UAP, UFO, the phenomena. Where are you at now? Like, what does this documentary add to your lexicon?
That, I guess, psychics are real to some degree. There's varying qualities of them, and that it intermingles with the UFO phenomenon. I guess, like, aliens and UFOs are part of the psychic realm.
Yes.
So that's pretty much the thesis of that little thing I did. And I'm not like a practiced remote viewer or anything. I'm not.
So you have not done any of the training yet?
I haven't done it. I've just, like, something I do with my documentaries is I just kind of start building a chronological history of things and just talking about how this could be real. But there's all kinds of, contradictory things that could also disprove some of it, right?
So what do you think is one of the more, I don't know, like, mind-blowing things you could have figured out? Because we spoke with Paul Smith for last podcast on the left.
Yeah.
And I do know, like, I think one of the things that kind of come to my mind is the idea of how many resources and how much money was actually put into this program.
Yeah. So the interesting thing is that, the actual official study of remote viewing, which is the kind of like CIA, DIA research project and practice of gaining intelligence on foreign adversaries and all that stuff. It started in the early 70s, 1972, and it spanned till 1995. I mean, it started at SRI, Stanford Research Institute, under Hal Puthoff and Russell Targ, and then they eventually got it to a format, to a practice that could be actually used by the Defense Intelligence Agency and later, CIA.
Paul Smith invited me to his home.
Cool.
Did you see that? But it's $5,000 per person. He himself will train you to be psychic.
Did you go?
No, because it says clothing optional. No, I have yet to go because my wife said, "Why are you doing this?"
Yeah. I mean, there's all these gateways into becoming a remote viewer, and one of them is the a really hip thing that a lot of these people are doing is going out to the Monroe Institute and studying there for like a week, a weekend, or like a month or whatever it takes to get your like cert. But I just say that, some of it might be people getting caught up in the enthusiasm of it, and then other people might actually be gifted and psychic.
Well, then you look at something like we did a whole thing on the Montauk Project, and like the idea of like going deep into the time traveling children and using all this
Peter Moon.
Yeah, all of that stuff.
I read that book, man.
It's fun.
That crazy horse statue on the front of it.
And the idea is that they'd have to go into the future, see the horse statue, read the plaque, and that's how they could tell if they've all went into the future correctly.
Yeah. Or they could just go to Colorado, and when they land in Denver, it's right outside the airport.
It's right there. Kind of right there. Now, like, I guess my question is that, like, how does this inform your big picture view? Like, because, like, in terms of the phenomena as a whole, you've covered so many different subjects, especially even on the fringe of the phenomena. Mm-hmm. Like, what's your take on the big picture of what's going on right now?
I think the big picture is that this subject is going very mainstream now. Mm-hmm. I mean, I was in a Twitter space last night where Senator Eric Burlison was there, and this guy...
So he's tweeting at you guys?
He was talking.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Twitter Spaces is kind of like the Twitter version of Clubhouse, which is where like a whole bunch of people get to go up and become speakers. And
I remember Clubhouse. Clubhouse was like, it had a hot streak during the pandemic.
Yeah, I was on it for a minute, and then that feature got adopted by Twitter, and now it's old news. Like everybody's just using it on Twitter. But Eric Burlison was talking about the September 9th congressional hearing that's coming up, and talking about all of his adventures into UFO land. And the reason I bring that up is because this is a guy who is inherently skeptical towards the whole phenomenon, but open. Like, he's like an open skeptic, like, hey, this could be real, but show me the proof. Like, show me the meat.
Yes.
And I'm very much like that. Eric Burlison is like a born-again Christian. I'm not a born-again Christian. I'm more of an atheist. But I want to believe, as the poster says behind Fox Mulder in his office, I think that there's something there, but I think it's clouded with delusion, entertainment, intelligence, operative narrative injection.
We were just talking about the fluffy-haired labradoodle CIA guy that's all over Rogan and all over these other podcasts now, that's going out there just saying like stuff that are insider CIA shit. And you're like, you're either the worst disinfo agent I've ever seen, or you're just some piece of shit Peter Thiel figurehead.
Jesse Michaels you're talking about?
Yeah.
So like...
So it's everywhere. There's a lot of shit everywhere. But then, so the government then, the capital G government, right now they're willing to admit that they want to say that there's UFOs because they'll do anything to stop talking about Epstein. They're about to literally open up a black hole in the center. They're going to flip on all the hard fusion, all the cold fusion things. They're just going to flip it on anything to not talk about Epstein anymore.
Yeah. Trump's even blowing Putin.
Well, I mean, he always has.
Yeah,
that was how we got in this hot water in the first place, because he's got pictures of it.
Yeah.
So
Epstein's got them. Yeah.
Oh yeah, but now
So-
like I guess it's like much like this. But it's all kind of connecting to the financial world. Like this is where I'm starting to wonder, because what does the government get out of telling us that there are UFOs and that it's real?
I think you hit the nail on the head. Part of it is distractionary. So it's to get us to look away from possibly the economy failing, the financial system collapsing again, because we've got this crazy debt crisis on the run.
You're Canadian.
Yeah, but
You're out of this shit.
No, we printed money just as much as you during COVID, man.
But did you see that Katy Perry's she's going to be going on a date with Justin Trudeau?
Maybe they'll have a late kid. That'd be cool, eh?
Yeah, I hope he gunks it inside of her.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, see you, Orlando. So, I mean, I think it is part distractionary, but I think, if you've been looking at this for decades and the history of it, there has to be something real to it. Probably the scariest idea is that 90% of it is actually just black budget American tech that is completely under the radar from the public. And every time we see this thing, or, foreign nations see these things, they go, what the is that? And then all of a sudden there's like American operatives in the same country trying to like say, give me all your pictures and all that stuff. Like that just seems like, when I first came to this subject, everything was aliens. I was like,
oh yeah, of course.
The meme, like my mind was just being exploded.
Georgios Tsoukalos, who's also probably an asset. There's actually some talk to where he came from, like that meme guy. Like he came from weird financial connections, and he's a Swiss.
I think he was a bartender at a gay bar. Actually, I don't think he really came from some kind of crazy background. But that's what I heard through. And
I love it either way.
There ain't nothing wrong with that. That's actually
that makes me trust him.
That's a cooler story.
Yeah, that makes me trust him.
me. But he was just like really into like megalithic structures and ancient history that was unexplainable, right? And I think that's where it kind of, I could be speaking out of turn. I could be shooting the greatest gift horse that History Channel's ever hired by saying that, but that's what I heard through the grapevine. I've been talking with these people for over, for 2 decades now, and you hear things.
Oh, of course. So I had heard Georgios Tsoukalos.
I don't want there to be a defamation, case on your show.
This is for me. No, please sue me, Georgios Tsoukalos. I've heard that he sleeps on people's couches and eats all the stuff out of their refrigerators and will like fuck your girlfriend and stuff.
And the dog. All right, cool.
Are you good friends with him?
No, not at all. I've never spoken to him once.
Good. That's all I wanted. Just want to make sure.
He touched my friend's leg at a conference, and then I got upset and told the conference people, and apparently never gets hired by History Channel anymore because of that.
Whoa, I love this. This is some good ass juice.
He's going to watch this and be like, he probably won't even be mad that I said that.
Yeah, fuck it. Well, I believe that the U.S. government obviously cares about the subject enough to try to destroy the lives of people that are involved in ufology, and they get involved in all these the inner groups, and they get involved on the internet. So it obviously means something.
Yeah.
But they don't know. My view is that they must have something in a hangar that they've been trying to do something with for a long time. And they've made stuff that looks like what's inside of it. Like Wi-Fi was inspired by what they saw, but it's probably still a quarter of what we found, right? Like, let's just say all that stuff is true.
Yeah.
And that they also, they don't know what to do with it. And then half the government's so Christian that they're so afraid of the phenomena. And then the other half is too busy trying to control the world, so they don't want to tip their hand that we don't know what the fuck the stuff is.
Yeah, I think like the bird's eye view, in my opinion, of that whole thing that you just described is we found something. That thing may have been extraterrestrial equipment, may have been future tech.
Yes.
I'm also open to the future terrestrial theory.
I'm
right?
more open to the future terrestrial theory than to the extraterrestrial theory.
Yeah, because it makes more sense that we would just be like, let's go back on the timeline and take a look at ourselves. So, oh shit, they're shooting at us. We're crashing. I don't know.
I could see
but,
it.
So
I don't know what they'd expect.
We recovered multiple crash retrievals, like, not just Roswell. There's so many fabled crash retrievals. Philip J. Corso wrote the day after Roswell. He said, these major corporations like Westinghouse and, you name them, like Rand, all of them got their slice of the craft to reverse engineer and start working on fiber optics and night vision and microprocessing and all that stuff, right? And then you've got where am I going with this? Well, you've got the ARV, Mark McCandlish's whole story, where he said that his buddy Brad Sorensen came forward and said, hey man, I was at an air show yesterday, went into a secret generals only exhibit to see anti-gravity tech, and I wasn't supposed to be there, and they've threatened me within an inch of my life. Brad Sorensen's still alive today. He's not a happy man that story got out. But the ARV, Alien Reproduction Vehicle, was like this really crude styled, like almost soapbox racer reproduction of a flying saucer, like a Bob Lazar sports model, like something that's elegant and looks like it was 3D printed. But then you got the 70s, 80s soapbox car version in 3 different sizes in this hangar. And Brad Sorensen got to see it, told Mark McCandlish. Mark McCandlish was like this illustrator that worked for Lockheed Skunk Works and did all their like exotic design stuff for prototype crafts and all that type of thing. And he did the ARV sketch based off of what Brad Sorensen said he saw inside the craft and outside the craft. It looked like they used parts from submarines, like a submarine hatch door and all that stuff, like big security camera, bubble cameras on the outside to be the like sort of navigation visual.
Yeah, kind of like what we have now on our cars. Now we have that kind of shit.
Teslas, right? And so, you've got that story. And then you've got people seeing that stuff, and you got people like Rick Doty that are dispatched to go talk to the people that have seen that and taken pictures of it. And he says, that was an alien craft, or it's a Russian craft, and we need those pictures. It's a national security issue, and usually the people will be coaxed out of their, and they'll just have a story to tell instead of the evidence that they had when they had pictures and all that stuff, right? So I think there's a lot of that going on, but then there's other cases that seem to point at something extraterrestrial, like something that's non-human-ish, right?
Oh yeah, and then also God forbid it's something from the water that's been here forever. We have no idea what it is, or it's something that lives in our atmosphere that we don't really understand what the hell it is. And then, I feel like all of that is even more compelling than came from another galaxy.
Right. So there's like the crypto-terrestrial and the the sort of they're already here, have always been here, living among us, but in their own realm sort of theory. And that's either underground or deep ocean. And the funny thing, this all comes back to the Twitter space I was in last night. This guy Tupacabra was hosting. And Eric Burleson's in there. This is a senator who's recently been down to Mexico to see these Nazca mummies. And
listen, Goon Lord 42069, you are my constituent. And I know I will fight for you every day, Goon Lord 42069. But please stop hacking my account and putting up all that gay pornography.
Yeah, I don't want the spinning dicks on my screen anymore.
Come on now. This is a serious conversation.
So he's actually been brushing shoulders with David Grush. And
who's went quiet.
Well, he's actually working for the government right now in this UAP.
These fuckers fucking, they show up
Yeah.
with that fucking money, dude. That's what that fucking shit is David Grush got, dude. He gets pulled into the umbrella now.
I don't know.
Get deeper into the fucking cloaca, the goddamn government, man.
I'm kind of rooting for David Grush here, but he's brushing shoulders with Stephen Greer. He's brushing shoulders with
Disinfo agent, another disinfo agent.
well, Stephen Greer is more like all eyes on me. I am the UFO prophet.
Well, he has the best nipples in the industry.
Yeah, possibly.
I've never seen somebody who's like a ufologist
Takes his shirt off?
so confident to take his shirt off.
Yeah, well, he's obviously spending a lot of time in the gym, and then the other time
Too much
speaking to his
government contacts.
informants.
Yeah, that's what I do believe. I think George Knapp should do more topless pics.
He's got probably a pretty nice rack.
I've asked him.
I've interviewed him. He's a good guy.
I want him to be my father just passed, and I asked him if he'd be my father.
I've been on Coast to Coast with him a couple times.
Mm-hmm.
I'd take George Knapp over Norrie, to be honest.
George Norrie's key.
He's great.
He canceled me off the show because he found out I do an impression of him.
Really?
Yeah.
That's sensitive.
George Norrie got upset
Come
because
on.
I was trying to at Contact. I'm going to blow the lid off because I was trying to organize a George and George night.
Yeah.
Where I would interview him as him, and he said no.
That would have been so good.
Well, tell me, George. Tell me, how natural is your hair? You know what I mean? Because like George Norrie hasn't aged a day.
I don't
Ink
know.
black hair.
I mean,
I want to see that pubes though. Does the carpet match the drapes, Mr. Norrie?
he's a good guy. He's a bit old.
I try to cut.
Bit
I'm
old.
not trying to
I don't know how.
get you-
I
cut
don't
out.
want to get canceled by Norrie. I don't want to be canceled by Norrie. No, I'm just joking. But it's speaking of age, I think a lot of the discussion is changing with the crowd that's absorbing this information.
Well, we were the 4chan trolls and garbage lords of the internet.
Redditor, yeah.
Yes, but now we're the fucking uncles and the authorities.
Yeah, we're kind of taking over. We're like the Fourth Reich.
No, wow. Yep. Yeah, we're the Fourth Reich of ufology. Write that down. Put that down.
Little Jim Mars, joke there.
When you're in this space, because the one thing I've had happen to me several times, but obviously it's the thing when someone goes like, I have super secret footage that you can look at, but you can't do anything with
Publish. I have
Yeah.
some of that.
it. Now, what can I just straight up ask you? Describe some of it. Describe what they're holding, because I went to a private talk with Lou Elizondo and he was supposed to show us a bunch of stuff, and then he was like, I can't, but I can describe it to you. And then he described what sounded like a great video.
Well, what I'm sitting on now that I can't publish, I talked about it actually on News Nation. I was on with Ross Coulthart
I love
last
him.
week. Great guy, Roscoe. Little Aussie, mate. He's totally championing this subject like no other, mate.
Wow,
I'm telling
really good.
you, mate.
Really good.
No.
He's kind of, unfortunately, he's giving up his credibility for it, but I love that about him.
Well, I'll go into that maybe later, but I'm not quite sure what that reference is to. Maybe the Tic Tac
It's just
Lockheed
everybody,
thingy.
as soon as you start talking about UFOs, it
kills you. Yeah.
Everybody fucking starts attacking.
Yeah. You're stuck in UFO land and
It's
you can't
just the
get
life.
out as
No.
soon as you get in. It's the family. So I was talking about this boots on the ground documentary. My buddy and I, who's a Puerto Rican native who lives in New York, we flew to Puerto Rico and we went to find the leaker of the Augadia 2013 footage.
Yes.
I made a documentary about that, interviewing this CBP agent. He doesn't show his identity because he doesn't want to get in trouble and stuff. But we go over the footage, we go over the backstory of how they caught that footage and then how he leaked it. And we also show Arrow's narrative. Arrow says that it's 2 sky lanterns or something, and that's why it looks like this object divides into 2 at the end. But it's bullshit.
Yeah.
in the documentary, I have this guy who's a FLIR camera like specialist technician. He basically works for a company that repairs Westcam systems, and these are multi-million-dollar FLIR camera systems that are mounted to the fighter jets, like the F-18 Raptor that caught the Tic Tacs and stuff like that.
This is one of my favorite pieces of footage ever, by the way.
Augadia 2013?
Yes, I actually did not even understand that it was this one. I actually use this in the live show quite a bit.
Cool.
This was one of those pieces that was like the splitting.
Yes, at the very end, the last like 40 seconds, basically, like the cool thing about this footage is that, you know, with the Tic Tac, the gimbal, the go fast footage, you got a few seconds. It's like 20, 15, 10 seconds. Like they're small clips, and then we're told it's a fragment of a much longer classified clip of this fighter jet tech footage, right?
Well, yeah, that's the thing. It's like that's the problem with stuff like the go fast video and Tic Tac is that it feels almost like a limited hangout where there is a. So what can't you show us?
Yeah.
Like what? So you could show us this little chunk that doesn't fully explain it.
Yeah.
But then you're like, that's it. That's all I can show you. Where it's like, but why? What's the difference? Why can't you show it doing the miraculous thing you say it's going to?
Maybe that's the inherent tool in debunking it, is that we're only giving enough so that later we can say, oh, it's all bullshit, right?
Well, look at the Epstein
release. If you have more data, if you have a longer clip, then you have more attack points to validate a theory or invalidate it, right? But you can completely invalidate something if it's a really short clip because you're like, oh, there's nothing there. But with the Augadia footage, it's almost 4 minutes long. And it was shot by a CBP plane, and that report, that agency reports right into Department of Homeland Security. This is the branches of security that are monitoring your borders and your ocean, borders and stuff like that.
Yeah, so it lit up the legitimate agencies that would need to pay attention to something coming into airspace. Like
exactly.
That.
So the history with that footage, it was shot in 2013, April 2013. It was leaked that year. People were like, whoa, this is really weird. This is pre-2017 Tic Tac and Elizondo and Christopher Mellon's release. And then it became popular after that because people started scrutinizing all kinds of FLIR footage that was out there. And that footage shows an object fly a circle around this Rafael Hernandez International Airport on the west coast of Puerto Rico and then go to the ocean and then seemingly go into it and split into two on the sensor system. And then the FLIR camera operator on the CBP plane loses track of it. So we got like the whole backstory. I made like a documentary.
Yeah.
I put it up for free on my YouTube channel. Actually, you can watch it now. But yeah, it's just called Puerto Rico's UAP. And so that footage was in the WTF folder at DHS for a while. And then when DHS had a bunch of these files released and actually documented as credible UAP in August of 2023, there was a whole document dump. This was reported on the news and everything.
Yeah.
People were like, what the heck? Like CBP's been, DHS has been tracking these objects over the border and over the oceans and stuff. And then Arrow comes forward the beginning of this year, at the ending of last year in November, I think it was the 19th. And the director, Tim, whatever his name is, Kozlowski or whatever, did a presentation for the government.
Yes.
Did a congressional hearing. There was a totally limited hangout. Like his handler, Susan Go, was sitting behind him, and there was like no one else pretty much except for the senators. One senator, Senator Gillibrand, was asking all the questions. It wasn't like the congressional hearing that happened the week before on November, I believe it was 13th. Yeah. Where Elizondo and Tim Gallaudet, Mike Gold, and Schellenberger. They actually presented their information and talked about Immaculate Constellation, picking up UAPs and all this stuff, right? So it was a really weird, and they just came forward and said, nope, Arrow has found no anomalous evidence with any of this UAP footage. And the Augadia footage was just...
like a bird.
Well, they said that they had a report coming during that hearing, and then early this year they released that and said it was two Chinese lanterns. They called them sky lanterns to
Definitely,
be
that's what they
correct,
look like. They
right?
always do a perfect circle around an airport. Multiple
and
times.
then fly into and then. But the thing is, I had this FLIR cam guy that works on these $1 million systems, like repairing them and then getting them back to the separate security agencies to be redeployed into the field. His name is Dave Falch, and Dave was immediately, when he saw that footage, was like, this is not a Mylar balloon. It's not a latex balloon, because in FLIR footage, latex looks completely see-through. You can't even see the shape of it or anything. A Mylar balloon, you can see like a metal-looking thing.
It's not a Mylar balloon.
It's not a Mylar balloon. It's not a latex balloon. It's not sky lanterns, because in FLIR also you see the flame in the middle of this.
No, it's like
thing.
a rock. It looks like a giant, like a weird squiggly rock.
It would look like a squiggly rock, and then through it you would see the heat source.
But I mean, in terms of that's what you're looking at in the Augadia footage. It doesn't look like a fucking Chinese.
It looks like a disc sometimes, and it also looks like an almond-shaped, like metallic thing at parts of the footage too. And it like kind of
what purpose does this all serve? I guess that's what I find interesting is the stuff like to connect it back to your current documentary. Like in the current documentary, remote viewing, there literally can't be proof except for the information gathered. And all of the information gathered is classified. So we can't know any of the proof.
Well, it was declassified for remote viewing.
And it was...
Like Russell Targ, the guy who ran the CIA program, Project Stargate.
What's he smell like? Weird looking man.
No, he smells normal.
Got it.
I think he's hygienic. He had a nice house.
Mysterious man.
Lives in Palo Alto.
Yes, he's a mysterious man.
Not at all. He's like an open book. Good guy.
Yeah, but I'm just saying in terms of what he's worked on. And the things that he's been a part of.
Yeah, I mean, I'll give you some like bonus features information about him that I learned when I worked with him on this, just like learning from him and talking to him for this documentary. So he's a genius, right?
Yes.
Like he created NASA's first lasers and stuff like that. And he's like a legit sort of technologist background. But he was always interested in ESP, extrasensory perception. When I asked him, because the precursor, like the first guy that really took this, clairvoyance and psychic ability and telepathy seriously was a guy named J.B. Rhine. And he has the Rhine Research Center
the Rhine
in North Carolina. And during the 1930s at Duke University, this guy was carrying out the first experiments in ESP.
I used to write to Duke University when I was a little boy because it was the first ever parapsychology department.
Yeah.
And I used to write letters to them telling them that I wanted to be a Ghostbuster, and they never got back to me.
Right. So exactly.
Fucking pieces
that leads
of fucking
right in
shit.
So the opening scene of Ghostbusters with Peter Venkman.
That is literally what's inspired me. Yes.
Yeah, he's sitting there.
That's from the Rhine Institute.
That's from the Rhine Institute. And what those cards are called are Zener cards. Zener cards have a square, a circle, 3 wavy lines, a triangle, or a star. There's 25 in a deck, 5 of each.
Yes.
And, you shuffle them up and then you hold them up and you say, what am I holding up? And the person who supposedly is testing their extrasensory perception will say a square or a circle or wavy lines, whatever, right?
It's like, you have a real gift. I always remember that, yeah.
Yeah. So, he's trying to like pick up this girl,
he's trying to have
right?
sex with the chick. Yeah, great.
And then he's like electrocuting the poor guy that's actually psychic.
What the fuck? Yeah. Who's nailing it? Yeah,
But, so that's based on a reality, which is J.B. Ryan's research at Duke University. And I love how Hollywood does that. And actually, a fellow Canadian...
Well, that's Dan Aykroyd.
Dan Aykroyd, buddy,
he truly...
reach out to me sometime. Come on, I've tried to get a hold of you, and we got to talk sometime. But
honestly,
anyways,
we should all get together because I've been trying to reping. We got to talk to him one time, and he's exactly as advertised.
He will show up on Joe Rogan, and he'll be like, right here is my finest Crystal Skull vodka.
He did the same with us.
It is poured over the finest diamonds into the bottle. Every bottle has diamonds, vodka dripped onto it.
But hey, man, I only trust him because he's obviously an alcoholic.
And
that's why I trust him.
And alcoholics are brutally honest,
dude,
right?
Every time.
Yeah.
No, but Dan Aykroyd is like, he knows vodka.
He knows ESP. He knows UFOs. He knows a lot of shit.
Dan Aykroyd is the real deal.
He's the real deal.
He's the real deal. And so it's like, but yes, it's been filtered through, but now like kind of.
So wait. Let me say. So that's where ESP research started.
Yes.
And when I was talking to Russ Targ, I was like, so did you ever look into the Ryan Institute, J.B. Ryan's work and stuff? And he's like, well, when I was 13 years old, I read his research, and that inspired me at a very young age to get into this kind of thing at one time, and I stuck with it my whole life, and I created NASA's very first ESP machine. He created this little device that would, like, change colored lights depending on, I can't remember how it worked, but I think that device, funny enough, is actually in the Ryan Institute Center, and it was created by Russ. So Russ Targ, he works for NASA, makes space lasers and stuff like that. And then the story is another, hardcore physicist, scientist, practical scientist, Dr. Edgar Mitchell.
Yes.
He ends up going to space during Apollo 14, goes to the moon, comes back.
Blew his mind.
On the way back from the moon, he tested out ESP exercises.
That guy was freaky as hell, man.
He was a freak. With people on Earth, that they had this pre-planned time that they were going to do this ESP Zener card research thing.
So fucking
And he was like, it's real. So when he got back, because they got like 90% effectiveness on their psychic research there.
It gets the clouds out of the way.
Russ Targ was at NASA asking for funding to start up a ESP research program. And Dr. Edgar Mitchell just so happened to be walking by and was like, I tested out ESP in space during the Apollo 14 program secretly. It works. I'm going to be going over as a consultant to the SRI, Stanford Research Institute. You should come with me. I can convince them to start your program there. And that's how it all started in 1972.
I just find it interesting because now it seems that the government, more than ever, is deeply frightened of what is happening, of the quote-unquote phenomena. I do find it interesting that it's the same government that made these remote viewing programs because, like, think about all of the things that you'd need to get funding.
Yeah.
Right, like a UFO program, you could see why. I can almost see that there's almost a practical Occam's razor of Arrow and all these programs have been watching these things fly around. They have yet to do a full-on carpet bomb of us. We were sitting and watching them do things and do all this stuff in the sky. And I think at some point, there are men back in the government that are like, well, if it's not blowing us up and it's not doing anything that we can understand and we can't replicate it for anything that we need, who fucking cares about it?
Well,
let's just let it go.
I think that's like the devil in the details there is that it is most likely some of our tech, and the very rare occasion that it's something extraterrestrial, that stuff is very like, it's like 4 or 5% probably of sightings and phenomenon, right? Yes. And so some of those cases, like Travis Walton or the, my friend, what's his name, who did the Ariel School.
Who did the Jacques Vallée? I know he did not do the Ariel School.
No.
He did all the stuff in South America. The Ariel School phenomena is literally is the one that haunts me the most.
Yeah, that's a really weird one. Daylight, multiple witnesses.
And with the kids and the teachers and them sending them. It's just the whole goddamn thing stinks.
Randall Nickerson.
Yes.
So Randall Nickerson, he spent like a decade making that documentary, and he got screwed in the making of it. That's a whole other story. But he went and lived in like South Africa.
Yes.
To get this story as close to the reality that they had sightings in the sky for like months. It was a whole UFO wave around that time, and then one of them landed, and these kids all saw these freaky beings, right? And a lot of them are alive today.
When you look upon your life as a UFO documentarian, do you wonder, what the hell have I done with myself?
Couple times, yeah.
Has it negatively affected your life?
I mean, I think the positives have outweighed the negatives. Like the negatives are usually probably spurred by myself getting into my own head too much about it. But the positives are that I got to go into this with this like absolute awe and wonder as like a younger adult, and then kind of grow up and figure out like, all right, some of this stuff is BS. Some of this stuff is real. Something is being misconstrued or purposely pushed here by intelligence and other, agencies. And it just seems like I got to sort of grow out of it a little bit, but also stay interested and be able to be a content creator and somebody who can try to tell these stories with my own vision.
Well, I think the key is to figure out how to hang in, remain agnostic, and not go insane. Because there's so many. Because you feel like when you're talking to, like in your last documentary, like I was saying, we spoke with Paul Smith, we spoke to other people, and I couldn't help but feel like I'm now talking to an extended arm of the intelligence community. They obviously are, like, no matter how smart I am, they must be manipulating me. And I want to know why, and I want to know how. Yeah. Like, do you ever feel like that in this space, that you're being used as a tool?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I've sat down and talked with former intelligence people and straight up felt icky when they walked out of the room. Like, it is what it is.
Because they're never retired.
I think the thing that you get with the UFO community is that we're all so interested in knowing the truth, and there's so many new people that come to it every day. You know that old saying, there's a sucker born every minute?
Oh, there is.
It's probably like every 10 seconds now because of overpopulation, but there's always somebody new that can be taken by these people, whether they're an intelligence agency asset or just a huckster that's trying to cause attention and make a buck off of you.
I just miss normal con men. I miss normal con men.
Yeah, and then there's cults. There are straight up cults in the UFO community.
Oh, yeah.
100%.
Buddy. Well, get it. I understand. I've already been criticized of that, and it does make sense. The idea that thinking of aliens as a God replacement.
Well, yeah, 100%. And I think it's God adjacent. I think a lot of those leaders speak in sort of Christian terms and stuff because they know that audience is very accessible here in North America and parts of the West. And they speak in a way that adopts that sort of Christian person that is kind of bored of the old book, and they get taken into this sort of UFO community LARP.
Oh, and look, at the Christian stuff leaked into all the QAnon stuff, all the pedophile scares of attacking the left with the idea that, all the Comet Pizza stuff has a big religious stripe in it.
Yeah, it's all Christian. And I mean, the thing is, like, I did this docu-series called Dark Alliance, which is about, like, Corey Goode and David Wilcock and their rise to prominence in the UFO community through Gaia TV, which is, like, a big echo chamber of this kind of, like, LARPer
I love my Gaia
behavior. Yeah.
I love my Gaia. I gotta have my teal swan.
Yeah.
I gotta see her once a week.
Yeah.
No,
That's
my
your girl.
wife hates her.
That's your girl.
No, my wife hates her.
Oh, okay. She's jealous?
No. She covered her for her own podcast, and then that's a problem. I begin to hate watch her, and then all of a sudden now I'm just watching her.
Hate to love her.
Yeah.
So essentially those guys, like, especially David Wilcock, you go on his YouTube channel right now, it's all Christian, like, rabble, mumbo jumbo mixed with UFO esoteric sort of conspiracies. Like, he says that his latest book, he channeled Archangel Michael.
Yeah.
And they're like the Archangel Michael prophecies, right?
Yeah, definitely.
And so
he's not busy at all.
Channeling, just so you know, is like the ugly stepbrother of remote viewing.
I love channeling. I love channelers. Have you seen that woman? That is my favorite. You see that one blonde woman who goes like, "Hi, my name is Bashir." It's not Bashir. Bashir is my other favorite one.
She's like a clone of Bashar.
Yeah, Bashar.
Bashar.
Yeah, Bashar.
Which is Daryl Lanka? Paul Lanka.
No, Paul Anka is the singer.
Daryl Lanka.
Is that
Daryl
his
Lanka.
grandson? Nothing would make me happier if Bashar was Paul Anka's grandson. Oh my God, let it be Paul Anka's grandson.
That'd be hilarious. Daryl Lanka,
3
yeah.
times on the ceiling if you want me. That would be amazing.
Yeah, that'd be dope.
Twice on the pipe.
So I feel like that's just performative. It's just acting, right?
Yeah.
And it's motivational speaking. It's like for people that they want to go a little bit further with a motivational speaker, like somebody that's saying you could live your best life, but they want to also mix it in with hearing from an alien from space at the same time.
Well, they want to hear what they want. They want to hear what they want to hear. And then the Bashar can deliver you what you want to hear from the aliens.
Like if you go to Unconscious Life Expo that happens here every year in January or February.
I love that place.
The sold out room is Daryl Lanka, and he's doing the triangle hands. And I believe that you shall live your best life by
Sharon, it is time for
jerking
you.
off once a day.
I am Bashar, and I am here to tell you stop eating Snickers. No, I love that about these people because it's the same thing. I just took a course, I audited it of how to be a pet psychic.
No way.
Yeah, dude. It's easy.
Cray cray.
Just ask the dog.
Just look at the dog.
You're hungry, aren't you?
Yeah.
I'm psychic
You
as fuck.
want to go for a walk. If you're walking to the front door, you're trying to tell me something right now, aren't you, Alfie?
Darcy, thank you so much for joining me today. I think we covered a lot
welcome.
of ground. Is there a place, so when does the psychic phenomena hit the airwaves?
So it's on Apple iTunes.
Got it. You can rent it now.
You can rent it right now.
Great.
Yeah. But if people want to check out some of my other work, I have a lot of docs on Tubi TV, Amazon Prime.
People talk mad mess about Tubi, but I love Tubi.
Tubi's great.
Tubi's got great selections.
Dude, I was watching you as Orta in Wolf of Wall Street just the other day.
Thanks for the 2 cents.
Buddy, when you were, I just can't get that banging of the prosy on the office table in slow motion.
She was so sad that I wasn't Jonah Hill. When right before we were shooting, we rehearsed it, and then I remember doing it.
When she read the script, she thought it was Jonah?
Well, she didn't know. She was just told it was, let's just say a lot of the movie was literally made on the fly, and a lot of ideas came up on the fly. It was an incredible experience.
That's awesome.
But I'll always remember I did that rehearsal with her, and I left, and she was like, I thought Jonah was going to be fucking me. I was like, no, sister. It's the grade D one. You know what I mean? But we had a good time. We had a really good time.
Dude,
she warmed up after.
How many times did they shoot that scene?
That was like a 3-day. That was like 3 times because we had to do a bunch in a row. So that was a lot of strippers that day. So that was like the day that we did the tracking shot with the strippers coming into while we all sat on the sides. And so that kind of had to get done quickly.
Wow.
But that was brainstormed.
Dude,
That was literally like, there's going to be a girl playing a sex worker in there. We need to make up a line of guys.
She was just playing a sex worker?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah, very much so.
Not neo-realism cinema where they actually hire a sex worker? Because sometimes that happens,
They
right?
do, but this one was it was a lot of Playboy girls and a lot of girls from the Rocketeers.
Cool.
So the Rocketeers? Raquettes.
Raquettes.
You know what I'm saying. Long legs.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. But Darcy Weir, there's
Dude.
Unfortunately no Rockettes in your documentary.
There's none.
The only tits I think I saw
Tracy
were
Garbutt
Russell
Dolan.
Targs.
Russ Targ, he's got a couple little titties. Yeah, we all do.
He's just, I thought he was so cute when I saw him at Contact. And he's like, him and Hal Pudolph are both like, I do think that they're like kind of cute and fun, but I know that they got like a lot of stuff going on.
Lot of stuff.
Because Hal Pudolph kind of creeps me out too. But I love him.
Hal has been accused of being like an active agent. Yeah,
Well, he's OTA.
Yeah, but here's the thing, right? Everybody gets hung up on Hal being like, they're like, he's a Scientologist. But it's like, well, you have to realize that this guy was going through this like psychonaut legitimate research era.
From what I'm basically a Scientologist.
He was joining all of these different things to find out if there was something real to them. So he joined Scientology, joined OTA, you know. He was, you know, probably part of UFO crash. Who knows?
I love it, dude. But honestly, if you're gonna get, I do believe that there's a difference.
Yeah.
Between being a modern Scientologist with stupid David Miscavige to being hand trained by LRH. That is very different.
Dude.
Because really, you're getting the show. Like with LRH, you're getting sure, it's all the abilities, the acting school, like bullshit, but you're also getting a master class of what it's like to be next to the most powerful con man to ever exist besides Donald Trump.
Yeah, I remember watching Going Clear, and there was a scene where he's with the Sea Org. Yeah. It's an old recording of him talking on the ship deck, and he's doing a presentation looking at the stars and telling them about the aliens and stuff out there. And he's like, there's a star where these aliens live a squillion light years from here. And I was like, is that even a word? And then I looked it up and I was like, that's not even a word.
He's a fucking
There's
boy,
no
dude.
such thing as
no
a squillion.
Anything,
and everybody's like, a squillion.
Wow.
Okay,
yeah, squillion.
cool.
Yep, a squillion. Because he's smart. He isn't changed.
Yeah. That's the UFO community, man.
I'll tell you the entire history of the universe.
Yeah.
I love LRH, man.
Yeah.
Soon, one day. I'm working on the body.
Dude, you could play him.
I did audition for him.
Did Philip Seymour Hoffman basically play
the Master?
him?
Yeah. I actually auditioned. I got close to play it, and then they canceled the series, the Jack Parsons series.
Oh no!
But I went in for it. I was the only one who did
for
an impression.
FX or something.
Yeah, and the problem is they wanted some skinny guy. I was like, he's ugly.
Damn.
Whatever.
He was not skinny.
No.
He was like a troll.
He was perfect. Thank you so much, Darcy Weir, for joining me today. Go and check out all of his films.
Please.
DarcyWeir.com?
OccultJourneys.com is my studio. And then on Twitter, Occult Journeys, YouTube, Occult Journeys, and Instagram, Darcy Weir Films.
Go. Harass him online. Harass
Please.
his family online. And thank you for the Canadian, for the gift. Thank you for the Crown Royal.
Yeah, you guys enjoy that.
Oh, we will.
Okay.
God bless you.
You too.